Welcome back to Doggy Quick Tips. Today I'm going to be offering a few tips for you on how to choose the right dog breed for your family. So you want to get a new dog for your family and you don't know where to start. There are so many things to consider when you want to add a dog to your family. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to offer tips based on the fact that you don't have any dogs in your current household. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention the variable that should be the absolute last on your list of requirements. A dog's looks. If you're choosing a breed based on the look of a dog and that is first on your list, you got things backwards, I'm sorry to say. Here's a list of variables you should take into consideration when you're searching for your new dog. What type of residence do you have? Do you live in an apartment or a condo or a townhome? Or do you have a house? Do you own or rent your place of residence? Are you even allowed to have dogs? The size of your apartment, the size of your home should all be taken into consideration when searching for a new dog. And a small place of residence doesn't necessarily mean you should get a small dog. Sometimes it's quite the opposite. I know a lot of people, they live in an apartment and they wind up getting a little tiny terrier that is full of piss and vinegar and really energetic, and it's just not a good match for them. But they think because they live in a small apartment, a small dog would be better for them. Whereas you need to look at activity levels of dogs, which we'll get to in a minute. What about outdoor space? Do you have a yard or no yard? Is your yard fenced? Do you have an area where your dog can get exercise? Will you be walking your dog solely for its physical stimulation? Or, again, do you have that area where the dog could run around and zip around and burn off some excess energy? How about protection level? Breeds of all sizes can be more protective than others. The size of a dog does not make it more protective. So you have to consider that when you're searching for a new dog. Do you want a dog that's going to be protective, or do you want a friendlier, more happy-go-lucky type of dog? And the size of the dog, I've mentioned it briefly. People think they want a small dog and they wind up getting a small dog. That is a complete mismatch for their lifestyle. Some people will discount large dogs altogether because they don't want a large dog because they think it's not a good fit. But you really should keep your mind open to dogs of all sizes. Now, obviously, cost comes into play when we're talking about size of dogs. You might be able to afford feeding or vet care for a small 20-pound dog, but you might not be able to afford or provide for a 150-pound Mastiff. So that is certainly a very important consideration. How about activity level of a dog? Again, we go back to that apartment dog. Some people get small dogs because they live in an apartment, but they don't realize how high maintenance some small dogs are as far as energy level goes. They require a lot of daily stimulation in the form of physical and mental stimulation because they are high energy. So consider activity level and compare that to your lifestyle. How about training? Are you going to invest the time and money for training a dog, or are you going to have, a little house pet that might be wee-wee pad trained and you're not going to spend a whole lot of time training? Different breeds require different levels of training, whether it's obedience training or advanced obedience training. Consider the cost and time commitment required when choosing a breed. And grooming. Do you feel like having to deal with grooming or sending your dog to a grooming salon? Perhaps a short-haired dog that doesn't require much grooming is right for you. If grooming is not an option for you, that opens up a lot of different breeds for you, small or large. But if you don't want to deal with a high-maintenance groom dog, then consider that when you're searching for your new pup. And last but not least, the looks of a dog. Yes, of course, you should consider the looks of your dog. Of course, we want to be attracted to how our dog looks, and everybody has preferences and types and breeds of dogs that they're attracted to based on looks. But that should be the last item on your list. And this is what I tell people when they come to me and they ask me to help them with breed selection. I will have them write down a list of characteristics they're looking for in a dog, and not one of them has to be how a dog looks. It has to be character traits, personality, activity level, all the stuff that we were just talking about. Once they give me that information, then we can bring up all the breeds that match the characteristics they're looking for in a dog. One simple example is how many times I've had people, they live in an apartment and they want to get an apartment dog and they send me these list of breeds that they're considering. And I look and I'm like, no, these are not the dogs for you. You lead a pretty chill lifestyle, you're not very active, and sometimes I'll recommend a really large Mastiff type dog because that dog suits their lifestyle. And their first response is, but that's a huge dog, I live in a tiny apartment. And while their concern is valid, a larger animal is going to mature a lot quicker. It's not going to be in that puppy phase as long, and it's going to be a little easier to drain energy on a larger animal. You get a little Jack Russell Terrier and you live in an apartment, you're going to be walking that dog 5 miles a day. You get an English Mastiff when it's an adult, you're probably going to be walking her or him 5 minutes a day. And that's just a superficial example, but you see where I'm going with this. So take these things into account when you're searching for your new dog. Take a look at all these variables, and I probably missed some as well, but good old-fashioned internet searches can help you fill in the gaps of anything I'm missing here. And remember, keep looks last on your list. And hey, if you guys need any assistance trying to choose the right breed for you, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to help any of you. And if this is your first time here and you like what you see and you want to stay up to date on dog training, dog care, dog health, dog nutrition, dog rescue, consider subscribing to my channel and click that bell so you get notified when I upload new content. And I'll see you guys next time on Doggy Quick Tips.